Hey guys, what is your one and only? My name is AJ. Welcome to a brand new series that I already know is going to be one of your favourites. It's certainly going to be one of mine. We've got a modern city that we're building at the moment, but I've never built a full medieval city before. We've done a series a long time ago on a server, and we had a little plot of land about that big, and we built some sort of blacksmith and a little church in there, and it was really cool. In fact, it was a really popular series at the time, and today it even gets views. But I want to build a full one. I've got a few people on Facebook and Twitter that send me their medieval village or medieval town or city, and they send me update pictures quite often, and every time I see one I go, I want to build one. I want to build one for myself. So I have a world. This is the seed if anybody is interested. I know I always get asked for it, and these are my coordinates. They are a fair bit away from spawn, 943 on the X, 2,500 on the Y, but I found this beautiful little sort of area here, which with some work is going to be absolutely perfect. So I want it to be a port town or a port city, so we need to be by an ocean here, which we've got. So that's time set 7,000. As much as I love the sunset, it's not great while I'm talking to you. So we've got the sea here, right? Now there's some islands that I want to get rid of. I want to get rid of that one, and I want to get rid of this one, I think. And I might keep these sort of little bouldery ones and keep that one over there. I think that's really cool, how it's just got a little split between the two. I'm sure we could do something cool with that. This is going to be where our dock is. Now, so I'm going to be a I got hiccups. A multi-leveled dock. So we're going to have like the sort of bottom area here where we're going to have a big boat, or at least one boat, and a little marketplace and stuff like that. And then it's going to go, because it's quite steep here, it's going to go up to a second layer where we're going to have maybe some buildings that need to be right by the dock. Maybe we even have the marketplace on the second level up. And then it'll go up this third level, or second level, I don't know what it'll be, to this level up here where the rest of the town or city, I don't know if it's going to be a town or a city yet, is going to be built. If we remove this little blob right here and we take away all the trees, it's actually quite a good starting point. It's a nice, large, relatively flat area with some good surroundings, a good defensible surrounding. You know, at the front here we've got an ocean, so it's hard to attack from the front. Look at all those squid down there. Look at them all. From the back we've got a little bit of a sort of mountain edge here, and a nice plains open area there where enemies can't hide in. So I think it's a pretty good idea. Over to the right hand side I've got this start of a sort of, what do they call them, plateau, a sort of start of a plateau. If we imagine this plateau continued on and over this stone bit here, this is where the castle is going to be. Or are they called castles? I don't know if they're called castles, because like if we take a lot of inspiration from Skyrim or Oblivion or Dragon Age and stuff like that, imagine Dragon's Reach. I'm sure most of you guys have played Skyrim, and you all know Dragon's Reach. It's not exactly a castle, but it is where the Jarl stays, the sort of main person of the city, the king of the city, if you least. Instead of the land, he sort of runs the city. So yeah, it's not going to be a castle. It's going to be more of a hold on the top there. We can have some nice castle walls and stuff like that. We need to sort of fix up some of this terrain here, which has some very strange but quite cool generation here. Like, what is that? What happened there? I don't know. And same as these sort of floating ones. I have a huge list of stuff that I want to build in this city. It's not going to be a 5-episode series. It's not going to be a 20-episode series. This is going to be a really fun start to finish progression of a medieval city. So today we're going to plan through, hopefully, most of the stuff that we're going to need in our city. Whenever you're building anything on a large scale, any city or any large building, planning is super important. The first thing that you need is location. That's ticked off the list. We've got a cool feature over here as well. Look, I didn't even see this. If we dig that out there and we make this sort of water run all the way around, dig through here, look, and we can make a sort of its own sort of separate little island there. That could be really cool to do. Is that lava over there? I can just, yeah, it is lava over there. It's a really nice area, really nice area. We could do something with that. I don't know what yet. Maybe you guys can give me some ideas on what to do with this little island. But I think that would be pretty cool to have the water going around it. But anyway, So let's start off on the list. It's a long list, and we're just going to plan through. We're going to get some ideas, hopefully spark some inspiration in you guys that will be able to put some great comments in the comment section below on things that I forget or ideas that I should tweak. So a port with a boat. Already talked about it. Crates and stuff on the port and a marketplace near the dock. We've got that. Multi-level dock to get into the city. I sort of covered that a little bit, but maybe not great at the beginning of the episode. Castle on a hill. We're going to have that up there, or the hold at least on a hill. Not going to be a full castle. It'll be more of a detailed, decorated hold. Warehouse for exported goods. So we want a big warehouse. That's why I want like these islands to go. It's going to be a import and export city. So being near the port, that makes a lot of sense. We're going to need a big warehouse to be able to hold all of the goods, all of the food, or the gold, or the jewelry, or the clothing that are being imported in and out, so they don't end up staying outside. We need an inn. An inn is very important for traveling merchants and adventurers before they get an arrow to the knee. A church is obviously always important, or some sort of religious building you always need in a city. A manor house for the lords of the city. It's sort of the biggest or second biggest building, if you like, excluding the hold that you'll have in the city. The church will be the biggest, I expect, and then you'll have a manor house where all the lords will live. Then we want smaller houses, normal residential houses. I think I want to have a residential area, so maybe like a residential area on the left side and more of a shopping district on the right side, or maybe the other way around. We don't really know yet. We'll have to think a little bit more into that. And a slums area. I've never really been able to build a slums area before in Minecraft. I keep putting it off in our modern city. We sort of started a little bit on it with the Grove Street, but in a medieval design, I think it's going to be much easier and probably a little bit more enjoyable to build as well, because there's a lot more that we can do with it. Minecraft tends to enjoy being built in a medieval style more. It's got more wooden blocks and more stone blocks rather than more modern textured sort of ones. So a slums could be really cool with some beds and some fires just sort of, I don't know, round the edge. Maybe that could be what that area is for. Maybe that could be like Slum Island or something like that, where like all of the really poor people or homeless people go. Every city has to have homeless people. We need a well. Although we've got the ocean here, which has a lot of water, it's not drinkable water. So we need to have a well that is like an infinite source, if you like, for drinkable water. So it needs to be quite big. We'll maybe have some sort of... have we got a little river nearby? We've got a little lake, because that joins up to the ocean. So we might use that and, like, I don't know, do some cool medieval filtering or something to get it to the well. We need a farming area. We need a lot of farmland. I think we'll have the farmland towards the back of the city. Is that a good idea? Because, like, what if enemies come along and set fire to all of our crops? That could be a bad idea, couldn't it? Maybe, yeah, maybe we'll still have it at the back, because I don't want it at the front. There's no point having farming areas at the front. But then we'll put a nice big castle wall along the back. So we'll have to change all that stone to nice wet grass to be able to grow wheat, because that's the only thing that we have in the game. Now we'll be creative. We'll use like long grass and stuff for other for other fields out the back. Then we need a windmill with a granary to break all of that wheat down. So we want that in a decent, relatively highish spot. Maybe we'll ramp this area up to about that height. Have a nice windmill on the back there. We don't want it too high up though, because we obviously want people to be able to get up to it and get all the wheat up to it without struggling too much. We need a stable outside of town, like in Skyrim and in Oblivion. You always have the stable sitting outside of town. But where is the town entrance going to be? Obviously, we've got the port entrance here, but, I mean, that's no good to most people. That's just for the import and export. So we don't need a stable on that side, because horses can't run on water. We need it on this side. So we need to think, if we have the wheat and the agricultural land over here, and then here, if we have the entrance, I think it's a good strategical place to have an entrance, as people can't approach from this side too easy, because there's a big old hill that they would have to get up and a river before they would cross. So we could have like the entrance just here and a path that leads out that way. Maybe with a bridge going across there or something. But yeah, this is where, daytime, the entrance will be right here. I do love the sunset with the shaders on. It is so cool. Okay, what we got next then? We've got a barracks with stables. So the barracks need to be located close to the hold or the castle, but with good access to defensive areas, which I think we already naturally have with this. We're going to be close to the entrance, as we said, it's going to be there, and we're going to be close to the port, which is going to be down here. We've also got a really good height advantage for the archers, so maybe we'll have a little sort of castle wall that just comes out. It doesn't go all the way around the city, but it pokes out here and to the end here where a tower will be, so archers can defend. And then we need the barracks or stables will be on this side where they can approach and defend the town's or the city's entrance. Really easy to have a direct road straight to there. We need a blacksmith, obviously. We need a woodcutter, so we want a woodcutter preferably by a wooded area. So we want to think about where we can have a forest. You know, maybe the forest can be in this sort of hilled area. I think that could be pretty cool. Up here, and we'll fill it full of trees, have a little woodcutter's hut down the bottom, and then he can transport it to a carpenter or something that we'll have nearby. We'll get down to that later on the list, but we've got a nice little natural path that goes through here. I think that could be a good idea, and it can go down, and if we needed to we can make the trees go down a little bit further down here or something like that, and make a nice wooded area over there. Oh no, my speed ran out. I used speed to get all the way over here nice and quickly. To find this place, by the way, I didn't know of this seed. I just created a random world, and I just followed. I just went either north or I just went in a direction until I found ocean, and it just turned out to be a really good spot. So the best way to do it. We need a bakehouse where they're going to make bread and cakes and all that kind of stuff. So again, that would be nice to have somewhat near the windmill area, so transportation and the logistics behind getting them there aren't too complicated. It does look like already then we want to have shopping on this side, houses on this side, which just makes sense because in Skyrim, what it's not what's the first town that you go, the first like big city that you go to with Dragon's Reach? I can't remember it. Winterhold, something like, I can't remember. I don't think either of those are right. But if you think about that, when you go into the city, you get into the sort of business district first, and then when you go up the ramp, you then get into the housing district where all the houses are, or most of the houses are, and then you have Dragon's Reach. So I think that makes a lot of sense if we have this sort of area, maybe the sort of top left corner as shops and the bottom right corner as houses. I think that's going to be our plan. We need a brewery where they're going to make all of the alcohol to supply inns and stuff and export out. We need a furrier, which is a person that gets animal fur and processes them. And maybe we'll combine a furrier and the clothes store together, because that could be a really cool build. We've got obviously item frames and stuff that we can use to nicely display some clothes, as we can dye them and all that kind of stuff. Carpenter near the woodcutter, we already mentioned. I'm going to, I'll stop the daylight thing. Can we do that now, in fact? What's the old command? Do day, game rule, do daylight cycle, false. There we go. And then it won't do that anymore. Quite glad I remember that. So yeah, carpenter's going to be near the woodcutter. We already mentioned that. We need a stonemason, someone that turns cobblestone or normal stone into usable stone bricks to use in building castle walls and houses and all that kind of stuff. So for that, we're going to need it, I don't know, we're going to need it near the mine. That will be coming later. Arable land we've already talked about with the farming stuff. A river leading through town. That's what I originally put down before I found this area. I wanted a river that would go through the town and then surround a hilled area that would be like a moat for the castle or the hold. But I don't think we need it here. I don't think we need a river that goes through the city. In fact, we have a little one that goes around that island, like we said. But the land is too tall here to have a river that leads through it. We have a river that's going to lead past the entrance, and I think that's good enough. I just wanted a river because rivers just add that extra piece of detail, that extra sort of, yeah, it's just a like feature, if you like, to the surrounding area, but having a river going through town would be nice. But with the land this high, we can't do that. Obviously, the most important thing with any coastal city is making it so it doesn't flood. And I think we've done that quite well. The location is perfect for it. You're never going to get the sea to rise up here to flood the main city. Sure, if the ice caps melted, you'd flood the port, but you're not going to flood the whole city, so it's pretty good there. A mine entrance. Now, I do have a natural cave here. I haven't been in it, but it looks like a natural cave. It's always just going to go to a dead end. It looks like it's just going to go to a dead end. Well, I mean, how do I get out? It's definitely a start. We could use that if we wanted to, or we could make up our own. In fact, I saw, just before I started this video, I saw a 1-block hole that looked like it might have gone somewhere. Where was that? That was over here. Yeah, look. Oh, it's just a little sort of lava pit, basically. That's fine. I just saw it there. Yeah, we need a mine entrance. I don't think I want it near... Well, I do want it near the port, because I want to have a rail that leads towards it. So maybe we have... Maybe we use that island as the mine. And we have a bridge, like a minecart bridge that leans over and brings the stuff to the port. That could be cool. Or maybe I'll just have it on this side. Maybe I'll just use that, and then we'll just have it, the minecart ramp out and over there. We don't want it to travel too far. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. I think we'll use that for the mine. It's a nice location for a mine entrance. We'll just lift it up a little bit. Maybe poke it in there, in this sort of area that's gone back. And then I want a smuggler's cove, because it's not all sunshines and rainbows in a medieval city. We need to have a black marker. We need to have some thieves. We need to have some trouble, some crime going on in the city. So we need to have another entrance that's unknown to the guards and to the Jarl of the lords of the city, just known to the, maybe to the homeless people and stuff, to the slums. Maybe the entrance could be over there. But I thought maybe we could have the entrance right underneath the Jarl's nose, right underneath his own hold. We have an entrance like back here or something that leads underneath to an underground, maybe through the sewers like it is in Riften in Skyrim, like a thieves guild, which is perfect smugglers. So they'll park their little boats around this side of the city instead of the main port. They're out of view. They're covered by the natural terrain. And they can use that as a sort of entrance route. Or we could do it around here, because we've got, like we said, the water that goes round that island. The boats, because they're going to be small little rowboats, aren't they? And they would row their little boats around this little island here, like down here or around that side. There's a little bit of a cutaway there that could be quite cool. We could have an entrance going through there into the city. If we have it under here, although it could be amazingly cool to have it. Look at that. I mean, that's like pretty perfect. But then how are they going to smuggle the stuff over? Unless this is just a cove. Maybe we just make this a little bit bigger. They park their boats in here. They unload everything. And then it's smuggled from Smuggler's Island, or Smuggler's Cove, over into the city itself. Under the cover of being homeless people and stuff. So they're not going to have anything. They're homeless. They're slums. When actually they're carrying all the black market goods. I think that's a great start. I know we didn't even place a single block today. That was never the intention. We said right at the beginning of the episode that planning is crucial. Getting that inspiration flowing, getting the locations of some things in your head at least, is going to be the best start. It's the only way that you can start a city like this. Next episode, we can start, I think we're going to start terraforming some areas. Deforestation and stuff, flattening out some nice spots, ready to be built. If you guys enjoyed this episode, hit that like button. If you're already, then feel free to subscribe. Look forward to this series, because I really am, and we shall see you in the next episode.